So you really like the game Flickr, like me, but then you're not very good at it. So today I'm going to be showing you how to become better at Flickr and some tips that I would recommend using while playing Flickr. So the first tactic is for different roles. You need to know how many roles there are for the most amount of players. Now, there are many roles in Flickr, and if you manage to remember them all, then I can say you are going to be better at the game. So in a round, there are 15 people max that can be playing Flickr. So in the good team, we have detective, survivor, savior, psychic, spy, medic, twin, and Muffin Man. In the evil team, we have murderer, witch, assassin, dark psychic, and scout. In the neutral team, we have clown. How to become good at detective. So when you get detective, just don't say your role or tell everyone the clues you've gotten, because that's just you're just going to become an instant target for the murderer. When you're ever detective, try and help out, talk amongst the other people, don't make yourself seem too sus, and if they do accuse you, you can accuse them back. But then again, if you get voted out, they'll get all the information they need without you having to risk being killed by the murderer when saying it to them. Now, how to be good at survivor. So survivor is a really boring role. No one really likes it that much, but it's a pretty good role when it comes to the actual placement in the game. Now, you're in a round and you've gotten survivor. Tough luck. Your best option is to observe the round and accuse anyone who's acting sus. Now, when you accuse someone of being on the bad team, if you don't have proof, other people can just accuse you back of accusing them. So don't accuse anyone unless you have proof. And most importantly, you need to survive until the end. Now, some tips for savior. I've actually never become savior before, so it's actually quite a new role for me. I'd say just act like a survivor, engage in conversations, make yourself not act sus, and stuff like that. And if you really need to, I'd say use your power for when the detective dies, because they will have information in their journal. Which detective won't put the information they figured out in their journal? So once you know that the detective has died, you can revive them. Psychic. Now, psychic is quite an interesting one, as you can see who's on the good team and who's on the bad team. Now, I suggest putting all of that into your journal, and if information tags out, maybe delete some characters or replace them from the display names of the people who are good or bad, because then they'll know who you're talking about without it actually being tagged and them having not get any information. Now, the psychic is a difficult one because you can either be blamed for being on the bad team, which is a dark psychic, or you could be targeted. Now, I'd say you can go for saying you're innocent first, like survivor, because it's just such a good role that you don't want to lose it. Now, spy. For spy, I'd say the main role for spy is you bug someone and you see who visited them. Now, the main goal of the spy is to figure out who is medic, who is witch, who is scout, and I'm not sure about this one, but I'm pretty sure I can also figure out who is assassin and murderer. Most of the time when you bug someone as a spy and you see that someone has been visited by someone else, that person is usually the scout, who is part of the bad team, who has the same role as the spy. So the main goal of the spy is to try and figure out where the scout is. Now, if you're blamed of being on the bad team, just say you're survivor, or you can actually say you're a spy. Now for medic is quite an important role as well, but it's also a very targeted role. Yeah, so for medic, it's just if you know well enough who is going to die, save that person. And if you think you're going to die this round, save yourself. And go undercover as a survivor. Don't let the murderer know that you are actually an important role. And for twin, now twin is a very annoying role, even more annoying than survivor, because if your twin keeps telling everyone that they're a twin, then it's just a perfect target for the murderer, but an even bigger target for the assassin, since the assassin can only kill once, and it'll be better if they kill the twins. I'd tell my twin, if I'm a twin, to just not say anything about them being a twin. And if your twin gets accused, then say you two are on a call, or say that you both are survivor, or bag another role in case. Now, I've actually won as twin before just because my twin was quiet the entire round. They weren't speaking at all, and they were just moving around, showing signs of life. And when they were accused, I said they are good, and the other people trusted me that round, and we survived and we won. So yeah, just don't say your role as twin, and tell your twin not to say it as well. Now, Muffin Man. Muffin Man's a great role. The only problem is people tend to say they're Muffin Man and just start giving out muffins to people who would like one. Now, that's not really a bad tactic, since the murderer might as well also want a muffin. But it can also become a target, and the murderer just might as well just kill you for the sake of the other players being sad. Now, Muffin Man is pretty much like a survivor. You just have to do what you do, give out muffins, and stay alive. Now, onto the evil team. Now, for the murderer, some really, really common tactics is the murderer is really quiet. The murderer says they are murderer, which deems everyone to thinking they are actually clown. And that is a pretty good tactic. I have to say. I just played Flickr a few minutes ago, and I met someone who used this tactic, but thankfully I was able to see what tactic they are using as I was detective, and we won in the end. But saying you're murderer when you're murderer gives you a 80% chance of actually surviving through the entire game without being voted out. But my tactic would be to pretend you're trying to help out the good team, giving out clues, accusing people, maybe even accusing the right people, for example, the assassin. If they actually cover you and not say you're murderer. Most importantly, once you kill, make sure to not have an immediate reaction to it, because once someone dies and you have an immediate reaction to it and say, oh no, that person died, it makes you seem really, really sus. and the other players might just decide to vote you out. Now for witch, I'd recommend blocking random people, as the witch can stop someone from using their ability. Block random people and those people will actually say something like, I've been blocked, I can't use my power or like ability, which means they actually have one. If they say that, there's a 90% chance they actually have one, which means you can then try and accuse them, get them out of the game, and help the bad team win. Now for the assassin, this one is just like the murderer, but you can only kill once. I suggest trying to find out who are the twins, so that you can get a double kill. And just try and act like a survivor. Most importantly, help out the murderer as well. Dark Psychic. Now this one is a role I really like, because as Dark Psychic, you're able to find out who is good, who is bad, put them in your journal, but most importantly, you can mess up the roles. For example, this person, I just know they're on the good team. I will make them a part of, I will say in my journal that they are part of the bad team, so they get voted off when others see my journal. Now, another good thing about Dark Psychic is that you can pretend to be a psychic, because you and the psychic have the same abilities. And if the psychic is already out of the round, people will most likely believe you and keep you alive until the bad team wins. Now for Scout, it's exactly the same as Spy. So if you get Scout, I suggest pretending to be a spy. Now if the spy says, oh no, I'm Spy, they are the Scout, then you say that they are trying to visit people, they are doing something to them, get them voted off as quick as possible so that people mostly believe you are Spy. But you're actually part of the evil team, which is Scout. Now, onto the neutral team for Clown. There are many different tactics for Clown for you to be voted off. I would say to be engaging in conversations a lot. So, and every single time someone dies, just try and be really surprised, make an immediate reaction. Make sure to act really, really suspicious. Just keep on talking to them, giving ideas, stuff like that, so that they think you're trying to cover up a role on the evil team and they eventually vote you out. This tactic I've used so many times, and every single time they vote me off and I was able to kill someone. That is all that I recommend for being better at Flickr for every single role you get. Thanks for watching, and bye!